Bob, Dandavat Pranams. So today is the 26th, Thursday, September 2024. So we're continuing our Gopi Gita session and we'll have a kirtan first. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Aradhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Asyatyadishatharine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Gaura Prasthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Deshaviti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Nityananda Rai, Jaya Nityananda Rai, Nityananda Rai, Jaya Nityananda Rai. Jaya Sachi-Nandan Jaya Gaura Hari, Sachi-Nandan Jaya Gaura Hari. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Radhe, 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 Radhe. Jai Shishi Guru Garanga Ganhabha Giridhare Radha Madhav Ju Ki Jai Nityananda Rai Ki Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tadasdara Shishimat Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tadasdara Shishimat Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tadasdara Shishimat Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Jagat Guru Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tadasdara Shishimat Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Paramahamsa Mahabhagavat Srila Gaura Kishodas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Saptam Goswami Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Jai Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Srila Baladevi Dibhushan Gaudiya Vedanta Acharya Ki Jai Jai Srila Vishnath Chakravarti Thakur Ki Jai Jai Narottam Srinivas Shyamanand Prabhu Treya Ki Jai Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami Ki Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Shri Bhata Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhattadasa Raghunath Sat Goswami Prabhu's Ki Jai Arupanuga Guru Varaga Ki Jai Jai Swarup Damodar Rai Ramananda Gauda Parsada Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sigahol Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Shri Gauda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Antadvip Mayapur Simantadvip Gautran Dvip Madhyadvip Koladip, Ritudip, Janadip, Modandip, Rududip, Atmaka Navadip, Dham Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Govardhan Dwadasavad Vatmika Shri Brajamandal Ki Jai. Shri Radha Kun Shama Kun Ganga Jamuna Devi Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Maharani Ki Jai. Shrimati Brinda Devi Maharani Ki Jai. Shrimati Yogamaya Purnamasi Devi Maharani Ki Jai. Gopishwa Mahadev Ki Jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarsham Chakra Ki Jai. Ketra Mandal Ki Jai. Sarva Vigna Vanasa Karishina Shingadev Bhagavan Ki Jai. Bhakta Prabha Shri Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai. Charidam Ki Jai. Chari Sampradaya Ki Jai. Chari Acharya Ki Jai. Akara Matraj Shri Chaitanya Mat Ki Jai. Shri Keshav Ji Gaudiya Mat Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Ananta Kota Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagata Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Gyan Timirandasya Gyananjala Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarabhaktaya Namo Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Priya Sarupe, Dayita Sarupe, Prema Sarupe, Sahajavi Rupe, Nijana Rupe, Papueka Rupe, Tatana Rupe, Swavilasa Rupe, Anapita Chirin Chirat Kurunavartino Kalo, Samarpaitam Unnata Ujvala Rasam Swabhakti Shriyam, Hari Purata Sundarata Digatamba Sudipita, Sadahridare Kandare Sparatu Vasachinandanaha, Yam Prabhajantam Anapetyam Apeti Krityam, Dvaipaino Viraha Katara Ajuhava Putre Titam Mayatayo Tarabo Benidustam Sarvabhutam Hridim Munimanatoshmi Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshay Shiptas Chakarma Ditarangamadye Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapana Brinde Namaste Charanarabindam Pajami Radam Aravindanetram Smarami Radam Madhurashmitasyam Vadamiradam Karuna Baradram Tato Mamanasti Katina Kapi Tavaivasmi Najivami Tvaivina Iti Vignaya Rate Tvam Naimam Charnantikam. I'm first of all offering millions and millions of Dandavat pranams unto the lotus feet of my beloved Gurudev Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tadasara Shishimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And I'm offering the same again millions and millions of times to our dearmost Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tadasara Shishimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and all the illustrious personalities in our Guru Varga, and all the Vaishnava and Vaishnavi devotees of the Lord. My Dandavat pranams to all of you. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavena Namaha. So carrying on with our reading of Gopi Gita, we should appreciate each time the rarity of this. This is very rare that we have come into this path for a start, that Mahaprabhu has advented. What does Anapita Chirim Chirat mean? What does Chirim Chirat mean? It means not for a long, long time. How long? 8,640,000,000 years. 8 billion. It's quite a long time, huh? Isn't it? When we think of our little lifespan of perhaps 100 years, and then 8,640,000,000 years was when Mahaprabhu was here last. So not for a long, long time. And it's only Mahaprabhu who's opening the door into this Braja Ras, into Bhakti Ras, through the mouthpiece of Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, all our Guru Varga, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. It's only through this line. So the rarity. So we have to constantly be feeling that sense of gratitude to Sachinandan Gaurahari. If Mahaprabhu is not in the equation, sometimes you go to Vrindavan during Kartik, and there's the Ras Leela dances in many places, with no Mahaprabhu mentioning. Just little girls doing the Ras Leela, Ras Leela, Ras Leela everywhere. It's very beautiful. But at the same time, there's no presentation of where is this originating. It's only come from the mercy of Mahaprabhu. Without the mercy of Mahaprabhu, Krishna comes to taste the sweetness of his pastimes, Lila Purushottam. He doesn't distribute them. Mother Yashoda didn't know what was going on. She was right there. Nanda Baba had no idea what was going on. They may have heard once or twice, but they wouldn't have gone in that direction. They had no desire to go there. They were fully satisfied in their own moods. Some of the Sakhas, the Priyanam Sakhas, Subal, Madhu Mangal, had some idea. But practically no one during Krishna's time in Vrindavan understood what Krishna was doing. And when he left Vrindavan, practically no one understood what he had been doing. When Vedavyas was writing the Srimad Bhagavatam, the first 9 cantos, he wrote before he had that trance with Narada Rishi. In the first canto, in the, 4, 5, and 6th chapter, these chapters, when he has at Samya Prash, when Narada Rishi comes, and he has darshan of his guru, and he asks him, why are you feeling despondent? You've written the Mahabharata, you've written the Itihasas, so many Puranas. Why are you despondent? And Vyasadeva didn't know why, and Narada said, because you haven't described the beautiful pastimes of Brajendra Nandan, Shamsundar in Vrindavan. Why hadn't he done that? Because he hadn't had access to it. Narada opened the door to his heart to have access. Narada gave him a trance in his Samadhi Bhasya. In the 7th chapter it's described where Vyasadeva, he sees the whole of the Braj pastimes. This is the first time he's seeing them. This is Vedavyas. It's a Shaktivesh avatar. It's the first time he's seeing these very confidential parts. Now he can write the 10th canto. Now the whole Srimad Bhagavatam has some real heart to it. Otherwise it was Gyan Kand and Karma Kand. This is what Vyasadeva had been presenting to the public, because this is what they had been familiar with throughout the ages prior to Krishna. 7 Manvantaras prior. There had been no Raganuga Bhakti. And we are just sitting here today thinking, oh, this is normal. Like, pass the salt, please. Where's the butter? This is normal behavior, just to hear Gopi Gita. It's very rare. Not only is it rare, but it's rare for the conditioned soul to be attracted to it also. This is even more rare, that the conditioned soul is attracted to hearing about the gopis. How many people in this whole, 10-mile radius are really sincerely interested in these topics and want to hear them directly from Shastra? Not so many. Even when my Gurudev was on the planet, he was speaking copiously on these topics, and so many thousands came to him, but so many thousands didn't come. Or they didn't have the adhikar, the capacity to hear. You have to have the adhikar. I can remember once when we were in San Francisco with my Gurudev. My Gurudev was speaking on Venugit, very beautiful. And 3 quite new people came and were sitting in the back. And I noticed that as soon as my Gurudev started speaking more rustic topics, all 3 of them went to sleep. It was really remarkable. They just all laid back and snoring practically. And then as soon as he'd finished the confidential part, they all came back awake again. And then I was realizing directly, unless you have a sanskar or an adhikar, a little bit of greed, then you won't move in these moods. You won't resonate with them. It'll be so distant and just be words like in a textbook. It won't really be resonating. So we should consider our fortune. It's very helpful for our bhakti when we consider what we've got in our pockets. Because very often we're bereft a lot of the time. Think, I have no bhakti. How can I carry on? Where is Krishna? But if we consider our fortune and what it is that we're actually accessing, then this is very healthy for our bhakti. So now we've come to page 22 of this Gopi Gita. And the gopis are expressing their... Actually, this first verse is like a Mangalacharya. It's praising Krishna greatly. They haven't started to chastise him yet, but they're praising him now at this point. So, halfway down this page 22. Shraita Indira Shashvaratrahi. The gopis continue. Because you have taken birth in Braj, the goddess of fortune Lakshmi, also known as Indira, has left Lord Narayan in Vaikuntha and has come to serve you here in Vrindavan. From the time you were born, she has been sweeping and decorating the residence of Nanda Maharaj and Yasoda Mai, and serving Giriraj Govardhan, Kamyavan, Varshana, Charan Bahari, the banks of Jamuna River, and all the narrow passageways and kunjas of Braj in the same way. She does so because she wants to serve the places of your divine pastimes. But can she enter? Can even Lakshmi Devi enter? You remember the story. There's two different versions in different kalpas. One is that Purnamasi comes to see her while she's doing her tapasya. Another is that Krishna comes. Purnamasi comes, she says, do you know how to make cow patties? Oh no, never made a cow patty. How can you come into Braj then? You don't know how to make a cow patty? These little girls, they've been making since childhood. Do you know how to cheat on your husband? Never. I'm a Brahmani, a religiously dharmic patni, wife of Lord Narayan. How can I cheat on my husband? Oh, how can you come into Braj then? Understand the depth of this purport. This is Lakshmi Devi. She can't break the boundaries of Dharma. Just like the Devas. The Devas can't break the boundaries of Dharma, otherwise the sun wouldn't come every day. The moon wouldn't rise, the wind wouldn't blow, the rain wouldn't come. They're following so precisely the laws of Dharma, even though they don't have pure bhakti. They're under the tutelage of Vishnu, so to speak. But they don't believe that he's the supreme. They believe Brahman is. Because it's described that Brihaspati, in the third canto by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, is describing Brihaspati as being Brahman realized. If he's Brahman realized and he's the spiritual master of all the Devas, that means all the Devas are looking towards that Brahman realization. And we see in the example of Indra, when he tries to beg forgiveness from Krishna for trying to murder all the residents of Braj. And Krishna forgives him, and a few weeks later asks him for a parijat flower. He doesn't give it to him. Instead, Krishna takes the whole tree. So what is the depth of their bhakti? It's limited, but their dharma is totally like in solid stone. It has to be. The Devas don't break the dharmic boundaries, just like Mother Ocean. She doesn't break her dharmic boundary of crossing over the boundary, even though billions of tons, how much rain has come in the last 3 months? And it's all entered through Ganga Sagar into the ocean here. And has the ocean risen to balance out, or to have the tides become higher? Have people move their houses back? No. The ocean is bounded. Varunadev, he's bounded by these laws of Dharma.
Aren't there some examples of adultery there in the Swarga? Nahusha who wanted it to have to consort with Shachi, that Indra was absent. There's some similar examples of
Flooding.
Consorting with others' wives.
I couldn't quite understand what.
Consorting with others' wives.
Oh, Indra.
Indra or Nahusha.
Yes. Even there's a pastime. You read it the other day. In the 20th chapter of the 9th canto, when Brihaspati, I'll tell you if you haven't read it, it's quite horrible. Brihaspati consorts with the wife of his brother, and she doesn't want his association like that, and he throws his semen into her womb, but she's already pregnant. The wife of his brother is already pregnant. and he attempts to impregnate her, and the child in the womb rejects that child and throws it out. And that child ultimately becomes Bharat Maharaj, who's a great personality. But this is just a pastime. And then Brihaspati, he won't take responsibility for the child, neither will the wife of his brother take the responsibility for the child. And then Brihaspati calls the wife a foolish woman for neglecting to look after the child. He's very harsh to her. So first of all, he tries to impregnate her when she's already pregnant and she's the wife of his brother. And then he tells her she's a fool. What do we think, brother? This is the demigod of the Devas. And it's right at the very end of the 9th canto. I understand that Shukadeva Goswami is trying to dismantle our desire to go to Swagaloka. Because most people previously, what is it? Dharma, Artha, Karma, Moksha. These were the principles that everyone followed. They actually wanted to go to Swagaloka. That was the destination of many rishis and sages. They thought that was in their interest to go to Swagaloka. But Shukadeva is trying to dismantle this idea. Anyway, it's just an example of the Devas. But their dharmic nishta is pretty much fixed, but it's not fixed when it comes to, I was saying it's fixed in their duty, but not in their behavior. Indra, he consorts, with others' wives. He gets all those eyes on his body, on Gautam Rishi's wife. So this is going on in Swagaloka. We don't want to go to Swagaloka. But Lakshmi Devi is worshipped in Swagaloka. But those personalities, they can't even entertain what is the nature of Braj Prem. So see how rare it is. She does so because she wants to serve the places of your divine pastimes. Braja is not only more glorious and opulent than Vaikuntha because of the beauty of Lakshmi's decorations, but it is more glorious in wealth in every other way. The Brahma Samhita 5:43 confirms that although Vaikuntha, Haridham, is more glorious than all other realms, Golok is still superior. Golokanamni nijadamni chale tatasya Devi Maheshwari Tameshu Teshu Teshu. The material world, Devi Dharma, is located below all other realms. Above it is the abode of Lord Shiva, Maheshtam. Above Maheshtam is Lord Narayan's abode, Haridham. And above all of them is Krishna's own abode, Goloka. So this is the order. In this first verse, the gopis utter the words Vraja and Atra, which mean here in Braj. Thus, another reason Braj is more glorious than Vaikuntha is that Krishna took birth in Braj, whereas no one takes birth in Vaikuntha. Who's Lord Narayan's mother and father? Who is he? It doesn't have one. Who's his sister? It doesn't have one. There's no family relationship in Vaikuntha. There's just the Lord of creation, Lord Narayan. Krishna likes it like that. That's why it exists. And men like to worship Lord Narayan in that mood. They have that desire for that Aishwarya Bhav mood of worship. Many, if you travel in South India, all around in India, so many love the ritual, the big royal procession, the big royal. You see even in Jagannath Puri, the enormous fans that they fan Lord Jagannath with. It's all Aishwarya Bhav. He is the Lord of the universe. Everyone else is very, very small. But it's described that Bhaktivedanta Swami writes a beautiful essay. It's about, actually, the whole essay is about Rai Ramananda Sangvad, and he starts in the beginning. Before it was edited, there was a copy floating around. And Prabhupada is describing that with this, he calls it inferiority complexity. You can't really give your heart to somebody. If you're feeling so inferior to Lord Narayan, what sort of relationship are you going to have with him? if you're feeling so dwarfed by the immensity of this. So that's the nature of the relationships in Vaikuntha. We have to understand these things, because then we can put all the other system planetary lokas into place. We have to see the distinctions between Dwarka, Mathura, Golok, and Swaga. If we don't know these distinctions clearly, we're going to be bewildered by different quotes and so on coming from those places. We have to know them, absolutely. My Gurudev used to say, if you don't know these distinctions, you're on the Kanishta platform. That means we haven't even begun. We have to know what is the distinction between Dwarka and Braj. In Braj, everyone thinks that Krishna is just a little naughty boy. In Dwarka, everyone thinks that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, the Super Soul, Paramatma, the greatest person. They all honor him that way. In Braj, no one honors Krishna like that. You see, we have to know that. It's massive distinction, because we've been taught from the beginning Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How am I going to dismantle that conception from my mind and understand he's just a little boy? Through love. It's the ingredient of love. When we actually love that little boy, when we start to follow in the footsteps, the wake of the Brijvasis, when we start to have that attraction and affection. How are we ever going to get that attraction and affection? By hearing about the gopis and their attraction and affection. It's by hearing about them that we will be inspired to have this vision of the beauty and speciality of Krishna. We can learn to have the attraction in Vatsalya Bhav through Mother Yashoda, in Sakya Bhav through Subal, Sridham, etc. But to see the full-blown Brajendranandan Shyam Sundar in his highest conception, we have to see through the eyes of the gopis. Tannama Rupa Charita Adi Sukirtana Smitya Kramana Rasamitsirjo Tishtem Braje Tanu Ragi Janugami Kalam Nayam Ikilam Iti Upadasharam. This is the essence of all advice, is to follow the residents of Vrindavan. But which residents? We're hearing the gopis. These words also indicate that Sri Krishna's birth in Braj is not the sole reason for its glory. The word Braj also means that which moves around. Very interesting. In our Brajmandal Prikrama book, it's saying the same thing at the beginning. The word Braj means that which moves around. What moves around? Nanda Baba and all the cows. They're itinerant cow grazers. That's what they do. They move around. So another meaning for Braj is moving around. By using the gopis imply, in Braj you wander freely, running and frolicking here and there as you perform your countless loving pastimes. It's got this word frolicking, I just got to mention, because sometimes those devotees who believe that Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is only in Sakya Ras, they like to quote the word frolicking. Oh, Bhaktivedanta Swami is frolicking in the part, but Krishna frolics also. It's getting it here, the same word, frolicking. In Braj, you wander freely, running and frolicking here and there as you perform your countless loving pastimes. You cannot do this in Vaikuntha. In Vaikuntha you have no parents, whereas here in Braj you are the son of Nanda Baba and Yashodamai. Moreover, here you honor numerous persons as fathers and mothers. You are not satisfied with just one mother and father. Actually, Krishna has two parents. He has Devaki and Vasudeva in Mathura. This truth is illustrated in the pastime of Lord Brahma stealing Krishna's friends and calves. When Brahma stole the cowherd boys and calves, Krishna manifested himself as all the cowherd boys and tasted the parental love of many fathers and mothers. He also manifested himself as all the calves, and thus millions of cows became his mothers. Krishna relishes this rasa. His appetite for parental affection is still not satiated. However, therefore, he went from door to door, playfully stealing butter and yogurt from each house in order to elicit further motherly love from the elderly gopis. They loved him doing this, even though they would catch him and chastise him, but they still loved the interaction with him. Sweet pastimes such as these never take place in Vaikuntha. When you read Brihat Bhagavatamrita and Kumar comes into the assembly of Lord Narayan, he's wearing his cowherd attire, they tell him, hey, put something smart on. Don't come in dressed like this, and don't play that flute here, and don't dance like that. We're all standing very much in order to sing the beautiful hymns glorifying Lord Narayan with your shirt and tie and very smart, behavior. So this is the nature of Vaikuntha, which is a beautiful place if you have that mentality. But it's not the same as Braj. In Braj, Sri Krishna takes the cows out to graze in the forests and pasturing grounds, whereas no such pastime occurs in Vaikuntha. In Braj, he plays with unlimited cowherd boys, but in Vaikuntha, there is no sporting with loving friends. He sports with Lakshmi Devi, something, and then sometimes he disappears with Lakshmi Devi, but he doesn't remain with her. In Braj, millions of Lakshmis, gopis, participate in Ras Leela, while in Vaikuntha there is only one Lakshmi and no Ras Leela. In Braj, there are endless forests and other places of enchantment, whereas in Vaikuntha, we do not see such beautiful places. It is not described anywhere that Vaikuntha has fragrant flowers comparable to those in Braj, either in the forests or in the Yamuna River or on Giriraj Govardhan. For these reasons and more, Braj far exceeds the excellence of Vaikuntha. Practically no comparison, because the mood, the heart, the sambandha, the relationship. Someone commented yesterday on the thread, oh, you have Muslims there. They heard the namaz. They were surprised, Muslims in Mayapur? I said the whole Mayapur temple's being built by Muslims, they're the best laborers, They don't drink so much, they come on time, they work hard. Not like the Hindus don't do those things. Anyway. Sorry, got distracted for a moment. They distracted me. Let me see. Another world. Very Aishwarya. If you ever read the Quran, it's only Aishwarya. Not even remotely, there's no even gap for sweetness to come in. It's only Aishwarya from top to bottom. Sorry, I lost the place. Oh, here we go. Shraita Indira. As mentioned earlier, Indira is another name of Lakshmi, the beloved goddess, the beloved consort of Lord Narayan. The word Indira refers to both wealth and the goddess of wealth. Sri Lakshmi and the gopis thus indicate that both are present in Braj. They say Brahma, Sankar Shiva, and all other demigods worship Indira, the mistress of Vaikuntha, in order to receive her blessings. Yet in Braj, this queen of Vaikuntha takes it upon herself to perform countless menial services. When Krishna was born in the courtyard of Nanda Baba in Nandagaon, there was a great festival on Nandotsav, and so many presentations were being given, and Lakshmi Devi, she wanted to give a presentation also, but there was no room. There was nothing that she could give at that time. So then it's described by Jiva Goswami, she becomes the jewels in the gutters, because they're throwing milk and yogurt around in the festival, and all the milk is flowing out into the gutters of Nandagaon. So Lakshmi Devi becomes like jewels within the gutters of the drains of Nandagaon. That's the only place she can find to actually perform some type of seva. In other words, the opulence of Gokul is so much superior to anything that Lakshmi Devi can actually offer. We should understand this and never desire to have that dull material wealth for our sense pleasure. In truth, it is not possible for Lakshmi Devi to enter Braj, but the gopis speak in this way because they are intoxicated with prema. They are simply describing Vrindavan, which is so sweet and fragrant that Vaikuntha, the realm of majesty and opulence, cannot compare to even a particle of its dust. This is the purport of their statement, Shraita Indira Shashvadatrahi. So we're getting this comparison right at the very beginning. In the madness of praying, the gopis continue, in Vrindavan, Indira is always present and continually giving her abundant blessings. Thus all the Brijvasis, including the birds, animals, creepers, trees, as well as the men and women, both old and young, sink deeply in the ocean of bliss. In the midst of this boundless happiness, we gopis alone endure unbearable heartache and weep. No one in the past has ever felt the distress that we feel now. At present, no one is as distressed as us, and in the future, no one will ever be as distressed. Heavy statements, because Krishna's not there. This is how much the gopis love Krishna, is the intensity of their distress. Our Gurudevs would always say that you will realize how much you love me when I leave this world. The degree of your separation from me will reflect your affection and attraction for me. The degree which you feel separation from Guru when he leaves this world, that will reflect the affection in your heart. So the gopis are mad in praying. In the midst of this often someone says, you gopis are dearer to Krishna than anyone else, and we also consider ourselves to be so. Why then have you left us weeping? This we cannot begin to understand. We implore you to return and delight us all. We are your gopis. You have accepted us as your very own, and we see ourselves as yours. Tavaka. Gopis are trying to make Krishna feel guilty to come back any way they can to bring him back. They get stronger as it goes on. It may seem that this verse, which expresses the words, we are yours, is spoken by the gopis in Chandravali's party. Ordinarily, Srimati Radhika and the gopis in her party never feel they belong to Krishna, and thus never speak like this. Rather, they see that Krishna is rightfully theirs. Yet a careful analysis of this verse reveals that in the anguish of separation from their beloved, Srimati Radhika and her gopis may speak like this as well. They're bewildered. This Divyanmad. The word Drishyayatam has two deep meanings, both of which are hidden. According to one interpretation, Dishyatam means, please come before us so that we can see you. Alternatively, according to another interpretation, it means, you must look at us and see us just once. We pray that you will. They have made their lives for him. They know that if he looks at them, he will be attracted to them. They know that already. Krishna asked them, why are you praying to me in this way? Because we are dying, the gopis reply. Why are you dying? Krishna says. Because you have not seen such gopis as us. You should see us and thus make your eyes successful. Krishna should see them and make his eyes successful. Why? Krishna says. Seeing us will fulfill the purpose of your having eyes, and you will consider, oh, I have never before beheld such a wondrous sight. They're very beautiful personalities, the gopis. They know how beautiful they are because they're Krishna's consorts. They know Krishna loves them more than anything. Krishna has expressed this already. In the previous chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10:21-7, that's the Venugita, the gopis expressed this same mood in their glorification of Krishna's sweet flute song. At that time they told him, the eyes of one who witnesses your casting sidelong glances at us and our eyes simultaneously perform archan of you are fully successful. You wistfully gaze at Srimati Radhika as she plays your bamboo flute and looks towards you with sidelong glances. At those glances strike and bewilder you. You nearly fall to the ground in a faint. Your peacock-feathered crown totters and falls, and your yellow shawl slips as well. Now again, in Gopi Gita, the gopis tell Krishna that by seeing them, he will make his eyes successful. To this he replies, "What is so special about seeing you today? I can see you tomorrow, or the day after, or at any other time." "No," the gopis reply, "our youthful beauty may leave at any moment, never to return." They're at the pinnacle of their beauty. They know that. Krishna knows that. It's absolutely prime time for the Ras Leela to take place. Everything is at its height, and there's not going to be an improvement in the future, etc. There is no future, of course, for transcendental personalities. It is written in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Kirtan, named Sri Radha Krishna Vignapati, verse 6. Gelo je divase na ashibe ara, ebe Krishna ki habe upaya. Absorbed in the mood of the gopis, he indicates, today we are fit, lovely, sweet and beautiful to the extreme, and our bodies are soft and fragrant. But this youthful splendor can leave us at any time and may be gone by tomorrow. So we know that in our own lives, that youthful strength goes. The last word in this verse, vichinvate, which means search. The gopis tell Krishna, "We have been searching for you, overwhelmed by unendurable separation." "Why are you searching for me?" Krishna asks. "Only to show ourselves to you," the gopis reply. "No one in this world is as beautiful and sweet as we are. If you see us just once, your eyes and you yourself will have attained full success." It's the opposite to what we might be thinking, that they want to see him. No, he will get pleasure from seeing them. This is real love. They know that his pleasure will increase by seeing them. How will his pleasure increase by them seeing him? Not, but by him seeing them, then his pleasure will increase. Krishna questions further, "Why do you speak like this?" Gopis, "We have accepted you as our very own," they say, "and you have taken us to be yours. So we are feeling pain for you, not for us." They know that when he's not, it's like when Krishna is consorting with another gopi, and Chandravali and Radhika becomes very unhappy or in man. Why? Because she knows that Krishna is not going to achieve the same happiness that he can when he's with her. She knows that conclusively, that only Krishna can, only Radhika can fully satisfy Krishna. No other gopi can. So she's unhappy that Krishna has to be with another gopi because he won't reach the same pitch of ecstasy that he would if he was with her. It's described like this. Soon, the most precious treasure of our incomparable youthful beauty will be gone. And if we have not shown that beauty to you before it disappears, we will die. We are yours, but you have not yet seen us. This is why we are feeling such intense separation from you. You have all become mad women, Unmadini, Krishna replies. Why else would you speak like this? There is a world of difference between the madness of an ordinary person of this world and the Unmad of the gopis. The heart of a mad person is completely empty, whereas the Unmad that takes place in the hearts of the gopis is caused by waves of ever-fresh transcendental love for Krishna, and it rises in their hearts. A mad person can't cry in the material world. There's nothing in his heart's empty. It's like an empty drum, nothing. That's the tragedy of a mad person. They've lost all feeling and emotion. There's no tears. But a person who's mad in ecstasy, tears are constantly coming out of the heart into the eyes. If we have become mad women, the gopis say, you are fully to blame. It is not our fault. It is you who have made us like this. Krishna asks, if you are actually suffering and feeling as much separation as you say, why are you not dying? Because of you, they reply. We nearly die, but we cannot die. We are simply floundering, chatpat, like fish. Krishna then points out that in reality, true prema cannot exist in all the 14 planetary systems created by Brahma. One who really has prema dies at once, he tells the gopis. Even if one who does not die, he becomes mad and useless in this world. So how is it that you remain alive? The fact that you are still living is conclusive proof that you have no prema in your hearts. Krishna's trying to defeat them. The gopis reply with the words drishvata. Drita means sustained, and ashava means life air. If we could die, we certainly would, they say. But we have either given our life to you, or you have stolen it. In any case, our life heirs are pleasantly residing in you, and that is why we do not die. It brings you full satisfaction to see us burning in the fire of separation and sorrow, and because our life heirs reside in you, they also feel complete happiness. I'll read that again. It brings you full satisfaction to see us burning in the fire of separation and sorrow, and because our life air resides in you, they also feel complete happiness. So if their life heirs are in Krishna and Krishna is happy to see them suffering, then their life heirs are happy also, because Krishna is happy. Understand? Had they been in their own bodies, our life heirs would have been burnt long ago. Our sole purpose for going out of our sight, your sole purpose for going out of our sight was to see us suffer. Our suffering is what you want. This is what pleases you. If we were to die, you would receive no pleasure at all, for no one can suffer on your account as we do. As most of Srila Jiva Goswami's commentary on this verse is similar to that of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, I will discuss only the specialities of his explanations. Srila Jiva Goswami explains, it's helpful if you all have books and you're reading it with me. So if I trip up and make any mistake, you can correct me if you have the same book. It's not in that one. Srila Jiva Goswami explains the gopis' use of the word Daita, which has several meanings. One meaning is beloved, and another is full of mercy. The gopis say, the pangs of separation we are feeling from you is unbearable. With these words they imply the second meaning. Seeing us in this condition, you should be merciful to us, for you are Daita. You possess the treasure of mercy. Mercy is Daya. If any of you have a copy of Ananda Vrindavan Champu, you can bring it tomorrow. There's descriptions of separation there which are very interesting to remember. He gives, actually in that flat where I was staying, she has a copy in her library there. See if you can. Ask her. Ananda Vrindavan Champu. It's a whitish colored book. You know it, huh? Yeah, it's really good. He gives yet another explanation of the word Daita, which he took from the poet Shira Swami. Daita chitam adate iti daita. One who takes another person's heart is called Daita. According to this meaning, the gopis utter this word to imply, you are Daita because you have taken our hearts. Please return that stolen property now. Daita also means lover, or one who can give up everything for his beloved. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that as the gopis sing this verse, they weep, so that Krishna will hear them and bestow his mercy upon them. Mercy especially comes to those who bitterly weep for it in this way. A child who cries with full feeling evokes the mercy of his parents, who stop everything and attend to his needs. The gopis do not sing their song of longing within the forest, where the trees and the mountains would have obstructed the sound of their voices. They have come out of the forest and are sitting now on the bank of the Jamuna. Now, wherever Krishna might be, he would hear them weeping, and certainly he would be unable to check himself from coming before them, which he does in the end. This first verse of Gopi Gita is the Gopis' Mangalacharya, their auspicious opening, and as their song continues, the extraordinary sweetness of their moods continually increases. Yes, it's going to be a progression of moods from the beginning all the way up to a climax at the end. The extraordinary sweetness of their moods continually increases. Throughout the rest of their song, they will speak astonishing verses full of sublime, hidden meanings, and the person hearing or reading them will be able to grasp the purports in accordance with his realization or qualification. By absorbing oneself in internalized devotional practices, bhajan, these meanings are revealed in one's hearts. So these meanings are not going to be the same for everybody. It's according to our particular adhikar that we will appreciate different aspects. Everyone sitting here is appreciating different aspects of what we're talking about, according to our adhikar and sanskar. You can't change that. That's like a fixed thing. Whatever it is that we have developed through our sadhana bhajan, that we will have realization of. And you can't go beyond that. So it's difficult if you try to legislate. You can't legislate this type of sadhana. It's something that individually has to come from your heart. You have to want to do this. You can't be coerced or forced to do this bhajan. You can't be pushed to do it. You can be pushed to perform Vaidhi Bhakti, which can be helpful for purification. But as in this path, you can't be pushed. You can't be legislated. Or you all have to do this, you all have to think. The heart can't be pushed in any way like that. It's very soft, it's very delicate, sensitive. Jiva Goswami explains that as the gopis sing this verse, sorry, I keep getting this. That's why I'm asking you to bring some books with you. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that as the gopis sing this verse, they've read that already. The gopis do not sing their song of longing. They've said that too. The first verse of Gopi Gita is the gopis' Mangalacharya. Yes, their auspicious opening. And as they, yes, I read this. Throughout the rest of the song, they will speak astonishing verses full of sublime hidden meanings. And yes, I read this also. For a pure devotee, fresh realization of these verses come to him every time he reads them. It's not a static literature, it's an ecstatic literature. You don't just read it, oh yes, I understand it, put the book down. It's like Chaitanya Charitamrita. Every time you read the different verses, it's a new explosion of appreciation, isn't it? Every time you read some transcendental, it's like the 10th canto. Every time you read it, you read it before, you read it yesterday, now you read it again today, and boom, boom. Every day, I'm listening to different people speaking the Bhagavatam, every single day. Maybe 2 or 3 chapters per day I listen to. People around the world sending audios or speaking. Today was Tarulata in China. Speaking chapters from, and I'm hearing them repeatedly. They never, ever become tedious. Every single time I hear, it's like, wow, I never heard that before. It was like doing the Jaivedhamma. So many times read it, and yet every sentence practically, it's afresh. So this is the nature of transcendental literature. We don't need anything more. Just a few of these transcendental jewels to keep us enlivened for life. For a pure devotee, fresh realizations of these verses come to him every time he reads them. On one day, certain profound meanings come into his heart, and a few days later, even more meanings and moods are revealed to him. At first sight, it may seem that these verses can only be explained in one way, but exalted, self-realized devotees of Sri Krishna, who are constantly engaged in relishing service to him, are able to derive the verses many deep imports within their hearts. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is experiencing such ever-fresh moods, and in fact, no one can realize and explain this subject matter as he has, because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is totally connected with Srila Rupa Goswami Pad. They are practically like one in their vision and their appreciation. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is Vinod Manjari. Rupa Goswami, Rupa Manjari. My Gurudev is Raman Manjari. Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is he? Bimala Manjari. And Vilas Manjari has been revealed by Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj and my Gurudev. How could Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur sing that Jai Radha Madhav song every single day of his life if he wasn't in Manjari Bhav? How would he be sitting in this line if he wasn't catching the gift from Mahaprabhu? Mahaprabhu has only come to give Manjari Bhav. He hasn't come to give Sakya Bhav. He hasn't come to give that. He hasn't come to give Sakhi Bhav. He's come to give Manjari Bhav. So these are some considerations. Gopi Gita ki jai, Ananta Koda Vaishnava ki jai, Gopi Nandi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Go Premanandi, Hari Bol. Mancha Kalpa Turubhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Athitanam Bhavnibhyo Vaishnavim.